In Geneva, diplomatic efforts to end the war in Syria continue. Negotiators from regime and oppositions have come face-to-face under the UN flag for the first time in 3 years. This symbolic move could be an indication that some headway may be made in ending the conflict, which has run for almost 6 years. Sarah Monice is following those talks from Geneva. She joins us live now. So it's the day 2 of the talks underway. Is there any progress being made, Sarah?
Well, I can tell you these talks are making very, very, very slow progress, if any progress really at all. They haven't even worked out what it is they are going to discuss, what the agenda is going to be. Now, we've just heard from the regime negotiators who've been in a meeting with Staffan de Mistura here at the UN today, and we're told that that meeting was exclusively about what should be on the agenda, what should be discussed and negotiated. At the end of that meeting, we understand, or we've been told, that Staffan de Mistura handed a piece of paper to the regime negotiators, and they have told us that they will look at it, they'll consider it independently on their own, and they'll get back to Staffan de Mistura at their next meeting. So that gives you some idea of just how slowly things are moving here, really at a snail's pace. Now, in terms of what's actually on the agenda for the rest of the day here, well, we know that individual bilateral meetings are being held between the opposition delegation and Staffan de Mistura, and also the regime delegation, of course, and Staffan de Mistura, and maybe some also sideline technical talks are going on, but things really aren't going too fast at all.
But on Thursday evening, the two Syrian sides did come together in the same room for the opening ceremony of the talks. Is that a sign for optimism, would you say, Sarah?
Well, I think to a degree it is. It was the first time in 3 years that the two groups had been together under the UN flag here in Geneva. They've been together at other points, but not here during Geneva talks. So there's certainly a sign for optimism that they both turned up. But let's keep in mind it was mostly ceremonial. As you said, it was an opening ceremony. There was no direct negotiating going on there. And as soon as the opening speech was over, I have to say they got up and filed out of separate doors. And as far as we know, they haven't been back in the same room again. So there's certainly a lot of work to be done. Staffan de Mistura has admitted that one of the major problems really is trust between the two sides, and he knows that he's going to have to do a lot to bring these two sides together. Also worth pointing out, there has been some internal division within the opposition delegation itself. Staffan de Mistura insisted that as part of their delegation, they also had some representatives from what are called the Cairo or the Moscow factions, and there had been some concern from some of the original members of the opposition group that this group were too sympathetic towards Assad's regime. So I am told, however, after speaking with the opposition today, that they have ironed out their differences and that they are all ready to negotiate from one standing point together.
Thanks for that, Sarah Monice, there live from Geneva.